everyone, it is finally race weekend again. I was starting to go insane and experiencing symptoms of withdrawal, so I am so happy that we're finally back. Thankfully nowadays the teams and the drivers are able to entertain us through social media, so a special thanks is in order for the VCAP team for their series of Bring Your Driver to Work, as well as the Formula One YouTube channel for their Grow the Grid series, and of course Lily, Hannah and Flavie for not being afraid to use their boyfriends as props in their incredible videos. I appreciate every single one of you. But forget about using boyfriends as props, because this week everyone is a prop for the Orange Army. I don't know about you, but usually when I'm watching a Formula One race and I see a sea of orange, I'm asking myself whether they're Max Verstappen fans or if they're McLaren fans. While in Zandvoort, there is no confusion. Everyone is here for Max Verstappen. And the Dutch Grand Prix is finally back for its penultimate race in the Formula One calendar, so let's dive a little bit into its history, what makes this track unique, what to look forward to during the weekend, and of course, the announcement that was made earlier this week. Zandvoort has one of those old school backstories. It was built right after World War II and carved directly into the sand dunes. It joined the Formula One calendar in 1952 and drivers at the time loved it because it was fast and it was flowing. One of the most memorable moments on this track was the 1979 Dutch Grand Prix, where Gilles Villeneuve gave us one of the most ridiculous sights in Formula One. Driving his Ferrari not on 4 wheels, not on 3 wheels, but on 2 wheels, and he looked completely ineffective while doing this. Zandvoort left the Formula One calendar in 1985, and to be honest, it looked like it was never going to come back. Over the years, the track changed hands quite a few times due to the different companies going bankrupt, and the track itself changed quite a lot as well. It wasn't until 1995 when the construction of the current track got approved by the Dutch government and the reconstruction started. Zandvoort eventually joined the Formula One calendar in 2020 with a contract for 3 years, but due to this thing called COVID, the race got cancelled. Finally, the race took place in 2021, right in time for the local young hero to take the win. As I said before, the driver who dominated this track is Jim Clark with a total of 4 wins to his name, but Max Verstappen is right behind him with 3, so he might match him this year. On the other hand, the team with the most amount of wins is Ferrari with a total of 8, and Lewis Hamilton is the driver who holds the current lap record. Now onto the track itself. Zandvoort is actually quite short compared to most Formula One tracks, with just 4.2 kilometers length. The race itself lasts 72 laps and covers around 306.5 kilometers during the entire race. Turn 1, also known as Zandvoort, is probably the most famous turn of this track, and it is also the best overtaking opportunity, although it is a hairpin, so it's a do or die situation. Turn 3 is also very famous. It's called the Hugenholzbocht, and it's a banked corner, meaning that it is slightly inclined sideways. Max Verstappen in particular has said that he quite enjoyed this part of the track. Turn 7, or Schijfvlak, has the biggest drop in elevation, and it also has gravel traps on the outside, so the drivers have to be very careful here as well. And of course, we have the last corner, turn 14, or Arie Luijendijk-bocht, which is a high-speed IndyCar-style launch pad onto the straight. And the banking in this corner is actually twice as steep as the corners found in Indianapolis. But honestly, the hardest part about Zandvoort might not be the corners themselves, it's pronouncing their names without sounding like you're choking on a stroopwafel. And since I do have a Dutch nationality, I fear that if I butcher them too much, someone will show up at my door and revoke my passport, so I am sorry. But before we go into my predictions for this weekend, we have to talk about the announcement that was made earlier this week, which is that Cadillac has officially announced their 2026 lineup. The 2 drivers that will be representing Cadillac next year are Sergio Checo Pérez and Valtteri Bottas, and these 2 drivers have more than 500 race starts, more than 100 podiums, and 16 wins combined. Now don't get me wrong, I am really excited that these are the 2 drivers that will be joining the grid next year, and I don't want to look a gift horse in its mouth, but I have to admit I'm a little bit surprised. Not by the names themselves, because both Checo and Valtteri were definitely front runners for who was going to take the Cadillac seat. I'm just surprised it didn't pair one of them with the rookie. And my reasoning behind this is that in 2026 we are going to have new regulations, and no team is going to be 100% comfortable at the beginning. It's basically a reset button for the entire grid, and I thought it would be a perfect time to bring in a rookie because everyone is adapting anyways. And also both Checo and Valtteri are 35 years old, and I know there's drivers like Fernando Alonso, Lewis Hamilton, and Nico Hülkenberg who have proven that age is no barrier. But if you look at their teams, they're all paired with a younger driver so that if they were to retire, at least the next driver can train the following rookie. So Cadillac's choice of having double veteran, double experience is a little bit bold, at least for me, but maybe that's exactly what you need if you want to start a Formula One team from the ground up. But let's talk about the predictions for this weekend because it seems to be quite promising. All the weather apps seem to predict that Friday and Saturday is going to be raining, and Sunday depends on which one you look at, whether it's going to rain or not. But Dutch weather is quite unpredictable, so who knows what will happen. Now for my podium predictions, on third place I went with Oscar Piastri. Not necessarily because I don't think he will win, but because I really want the championship to get as tight as possible. Because of this, I put Lando Norris above him in second place, and for first place I went with Max Verstappen because I really want him to win his home Grand Prix. I think Max Verstappen winning in Zandvoort with the Orange Army is going to be quite the spectacle if it happens. ChatGPT went with the inverse version of my podium prediction, so in third place we have Max Verstappen, in second place Lando Norris, and in first place Oscar Piastri. And Gemini seemed to agree with me, so Oscar Piastri is in third place, Lando Norris in second, and Max Verstappen in first. Something else that I'm looking forward to in 2026 is a more diverse podium. But there you have it, history, new drivers, incredible races, and one of the most passionate fan bases on the Formula One calendar. But let me know down in the comments what you're looking forward to during this weekend, what was your reaction to the Cadillac announcement, and let me know your podium predictions. But as always, if you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and I'll see you all after the race.